Greetings from Las Vegas, Nevada. As soon as the sun goes down, we're going to the Strip. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV. Good evening from the Las Vegas KOA at Samstown Boulder Highway Park. It's Independence Day.
Twilight Moon.
The closer we get to the Caesar's Palace, the more intense the crowds become. Even though we're still about half a mile away. Gotta love the shiny lights. It is becoming impassable. I think this is as close as we are going to be able to get. I'm not a big fan of the crowds, but we've been able to get a little bit closer here by the corner of the Paris and the Bellagio. I wonder how hard it would be to get a table at the Cabo Wabo tonight. Oh, the anticipation. Oh no, that big truck is blocking our view of the fireworks. Okay, good. He got the green light. No fireworks yet. But the Bellagio fountains are going. There we go, fireworks and fountains. What more could we ask for? Let me grab the other camera, although if that's all the fireworks we're gonna be able to see, I'm gonna be disappointed. Definitely not the pyrotechnical extravaganza I was expecting. I mean, it's not bad, but we are in Las Vegas, for crying out loud. I was expecting a display of at least Disney-esque proportions. To be fair, we don't really have the best vantage point here. We arrived too late. I guess expectations are a funny thing. Anywhere else, this would have been a fine fireworks display. It's just crazy on the Strip today, but I'm kind of loving the experience in a weird way. There's Beer Park, where I had my $11 IPA last winter. Cool bar though, here on the Paris. Glittering Eiffel Tower and all. Somehow, we're back where we started. Let me tell you, it is an organized chaos out here. Well, perhaps not so organized when there are more pedestrians than available sidewalks. Oof, that was intense, but at least we found a good spot to see the Bellagio fountains up close. It is always a good show, but so many people here from all over the world. let's go inside the Bellagio, which is one of the most luxurious and elegant hotels here on the Strip. It opened in 1998 at the site of where the dunes used to be. It was inspired by the Lake Como town of Bellagio in Italy. Hence the big artificial lake in front of the building with the fountains. Here at the lobby ceiling, it is called Fiori di Como by renowned artist Dale Chihuly, composed of over 2,000 hand-blown glass flowers. Also famous here, the conservatory and botanical gardens, which changes themes seasonally 5 times a year. As we are here in July, we are seeing the summer theme. The Christmas theme during the winter holiday season is also something to see. This summer theme here, by the way, very nice and quite elaborate. Even animatronic horses and swan, and I don't know why, it's gotta be subliminal. I have this sudden urge to drink limoncello. We're gonna call it a night. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It is going to be over 100 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is about 37, 38 Celsius. In other words, too darn hot. So we're going to higher elevation. We're going to Mount Charleston. There it is, with still a little bit of snow at the peak. And to the left, downtown. We've been there before, Fremont Street, it's quite an experience. I don't think many people know this area even exists. Right here, less than an hour away from Las Vegas. Here we are at the Mount Charleston Lodge. I came here back in February with my friends Rafa and Lazaro, and it was incredibly cold. And now I'm here with Ili, so we are going to have lunch and then continue exploring. It is a nice restaurant, a little fancy perhaps, long waiting time. They have these 2 areas outside where you can have lunch al fresco, and this is a pet-friendly area too.
A high bar though, because I take her in.
Oh cool, butterfly. I like this place. It is a nice escape from the city. Oh, we just had lunch here at the Mount Charleston Lodge. Pretty good, but the best thing here is the view. Well, here we are. All these cabins right there on the mountain. Very nice. Let me tell you, I'm an RVer at heart, but I wouldn't mind dropping the trailer back in Vegas or at a campground and spending a couple of days in one of these chalets. By the way, there are a handful of campgrounds here on the mountain too. Next time we're gonna camp up here for sure. Once in a while, you gotta stop, take in the vistas. Remember, this was full of snow when we came just 5 months ago. Let's check out the view once again. It's the desert overlook. Yeah, winter, summer. Having lived in Florida most of my life, I can't really fathom the drastic seasonal changes at places like this. Spectacular views of the Mojave Desert, which happened to be an atomic testing site. And this up here was a great vantage point to view the bomb detonations during the Cold War. We're gonna start descending here slowly, but before we return to Vegas, we're gonna make one final stop here at the Mount Charleston Resort, which seems to be undergoing renovations. And this area? Definitely more picturesque in the winter with snow on the ground. This time of the year, however, probably better for camping and hiking. We definitely have to revisit. One of these days. One of these days. There's not a whole lot going on here, so let's go back to the city. Good morning. It is our third day here together, and we've decided to come back to the Bellagio for the weekend brunch buffet. And here's the conservatory during the daytime. And the fabulous lobby. Here we have once again that famous Chihuly glass, hand-blown flowers on the ceiling, fiori di como. And I didn't show you, but the buffet was fabulous. It is now afternoon, so we are going to make a quick day trip to Death Valley on a whim, because that's how we roll. As I said in the previous episode, this weekend I'm putting the camera away for the most part, so what you've seen is only a small fraction of our time here. As they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, that tagline, huh? That must have been one of the greatest advertising campaigns of all time. In any case, you're not gonna believe what happened. I lost most of my footage from Death Valley. Yeah, I lost all the footage from my main camera. All I have is the Sony dash cam and a few pictures. This is actually really embarrassing. I know we went to Dante's View, and I even have a picture to prove it. I also know we went to the Furnace Creek Visitors Center and took a picture with a famous thermometer. Yeah, one of the main reasons I came here was to experience the hottest place on the planet. We also went to Badwater Basin, the lowest place in North America, and Zabriskie Point. But if you want to see all that, I made a video last winter, and I definitely saw a lot more than what I would have been able to show you today. So I hope you can check that one out. Check it out, I have a neighbor with the swimming pool. In fact, there's a whole residential neighborhood right behind the KOA. Nice houses with pools, many of them with solar panels. I even see green water on an above-ground pool. I can relate. Someone probably forgot to add chlorine or check the pH levels. Las Vegas was fun. Now we depart to next destination, Anaheim, California. Well, Ellie left last night. She had to fly back to Miami. I am leaving Las Vegas. I told you in the previous episode that this was probably going to be a short one, and that was before I found out that I had lost my Death Valley footage. For most of our stay in Las Vegas, as I said, I decided to put the camera down and just enjoy our time together. But if you don't mind sticking around for the trip to Southern California, it is gonna be a beautiful drive. It's already pretty cool here as I drive on I-15 South, overlooking the backs of the lavish hotels of the Strip. before too long, we are in the desert, and we start encountering strange artifacts. Speaking of strange artifacts, what the heck is that? Ooh, there it is again. Here's Prim, Nevada, the last chance to gamble. And we are in California, and I did some research. This thing that looks like something out of a science fiction movie is actually a power plant. The Ibampa Solar Electric Generating System. It's actually the largest solar thermal power plant in the world, and the way it works, there's a field of mirrors that focuses sunlight on the receiver on top of the tower, which generates steam and drives turbines and generates the electricity. It's pretty cool, unless you are a bird. Yeah, apparently thousands of birds have burned to death crossing the light beam. And there it is, the dreaded California Department of Agriculture Inspection Station. Remember when they took my lemons back in 2018? Well, I'm still bitter, although today there's no one here. These are some of the largest Joshua trees I've ever seen. I just love the desolate beauty of the Mojave. And we are in Barstow. Let's fill up and continue. Well, eventually, I arrived at Anaheim Harbor RV Park, from where I was able to enjoy the Disneyland fireworks. Very nice, actually. But more about that on the next episode. I am going to spend a whole week in Southern California. Yeah, me. A whole week. I'm even gonna go all the way to the southwesternmost point. Then we're gonna take the 395 North, the Eastern Sierra Scenic Byway. We're gonna see Mount Whitney, which is the highest peak in the contiguous United States. Then Bishop, at the crossroads between Yosemite and Death Valley. Lovely town. Then Yosemite itself, which no words can properly describe. After that, Lake Tahoe. Then onto the Pacific Coast. I am gonna drive the 101 through the magnificent redwood forest, and then the Oregon coast. The Olympic Peninsula, all the way to the northwesternmost point. And then we'll start making our way back east. As Frank Sinatra used to say, the best is yet to come as we begin leg 2 of our summer 2019 road trip adventure. Stay tuned. I'm riding in my